Good morning and welcome to Friday at Fran's. Today is week 3 of our holiday quick gift ideas. And just a reminder, today's instructions and the instructions for the last 2 weeks also are up on our website, www.franssewingcircle.com. Okay, today we're going to make a microwave bowl cozy, and this is a quick and easy project. Now, all the projects that I've been doing, I don't know, some of you watching, maybe you're new to sewing. The first thing you did was masks, like I just took off because I've got a class going on this morning, so they're all distance away while I do my quick video here. But all the projects I'm doing, if you could do masks, you could do these projects. So today we start with 10-inch squares. So I've got 2 of the fabric and 2 of the batting. So if you're a quilter, this is a great way to use up your leftover batting. If you're buying batting, it's important that you get 100% cotton. If you're going to put it in the microwave, it cannot have any metallic on it or polyester or that. So you want to start with 100% cotton batting. So the first thing I do is I'm going to draw some lines on it. And these lines don't show, so you can use, I used a Sharpie to mark these. So you're going to find your center on both sides and mark those. And then you're also going to find the diagonals and mark those. Once you've got the diagonals marked, get the fabric that goes with what I got done, you're going to put these together. Now you can put some pins on it. My fabric is really sticking to the cotton, so I don't really need to. If I put it down on my table, I can just get it together here. So the first thing I'm going to do is sew across the diagonal lines. So, and you know what? I forgot to go over the next marks, but that's okay. We can put them on now. Because there's 2 other marks you're going to make. So I'm just going to go across like that, all of my diagonals. My batting's a little bit off, but that's fine, it'll still work. After you mark the diagonals, what you need to do is mark, and here's one that's all sewn. But the other thing you need to mark is, and that's the reason we mark these halfway, these lines this way, because we're not going to sew on those, but we use those to do our darts. So 2.5 inches in, 1 inch on each side of the center, and then draw a line to that 2.5 inch mark, and those are going to become my darts. So for the darts, I've got a couple sewn here. You want to be careful when you fold your dart that you keep your inner fabric there. So I just take my finger, I'm going to fold it on the line, and I'm going to sew on the diagonal lines. And for these darts, I like them secure. I do a little different if I'm doing it for fashion, but I do want to back up a little bit to make sure that that point on each of these darts is secure. So you just go all the way around, and you're going to make the 4 darts on the 4 sides. Okay, and by the magic of video, I have 2 of them done to this point, and now I'm just going to match my, okay, one other thing I'm going to do is to eliminate some bulk. I'm going to trim each of these darts down to about 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now you could either open these darts as you sew this, or I'm a little bit lazy. I'm just going to put one side to one direction and the other direction, and you can pin or clip these together. Thank you, Micah. Lets me know when I'm not where you can't see me. Okay. So I'm just going to put a clip on each corner, a clip at each dart. You can see I'm putting just one in one direction and one in the other. I was ironing. I might iron them open. Either way, you get about the same amount of bulk. Okay, now, just like any project, when you're sewing all the way around, you need to leave an opening. So, and I'm saying this every week, I do something that we turn. We're not going to leave our opening in the corner because, oh, let me get a quarter of an inch seam allowance on this machine. So don't leave it in the corner. You can hear it going bump, bump, bump as it's going through some of these tight spots, but don't worry about it. You might want a little bit bigger needle in your machine. We often don't talk about needles, but when you're going through something thick and heavy like this, a little bit bigger needle might be helpful. So when you're buying needles, one of the things is the size of the needle. And on needles, the bigger the number, the bigger the size. So typically I sew with a size 80 needle, but when I'm doing something thick like this, putting a quilt together, I'm going to put in like a size 90 needle. It's just a little bit stronger. So this is, I'm coming up to where I started, so I'm just going to do this side a little bit and back up so it doesn't come apart there. And I'm good to go. So the next thing I'm going to do, whenever I have corners, I want to clip my corners so I eliminate the bulk in those corners. And we are almost done with this pot holder, or bowl carrier. Kind of like a pot holder, except it's got shape to it, doesn't it? So then I'm going to just turn that out through my opening, poke out my corners. I was looking at somebody else's video the other day, and she's taking her scissors and poking out the corners. And that's not a great idea because your scissors have sharp ends on them and they can poke right through that corner. But you could use a, if you don't have a point turner, and I don't have mine handy here this morning, so I'm not going to totally turn this right side out, but my finger's doing a pretty good job. Sometimes I cheat and use a ballpoint pen that it's not, the pen part's not out. So anything that's got a little bit of a point to it but isn't too sharp that it's going to point through that. So then I just get this all turned right side out, and then my next step is to press this, and I didn't quite finish this one because the last step after it's pressed is close to the edge, and this is going to seal that little opened area where we turned it. So I'm going to sew close to the edge and top stitch this. And again, you can hear it go thump, thump, thump. That's because of the thickness of the fabric, and I just broke my thread. Another thing that happens sometimes if it's real thick is, you get a little broken thread along the way. And, okay. I'll finish this later because you don't need to see me rethread the machine. But the top stitch edge just makes that nice and firm there and gives it a nice finished look. Also, when you wash it, it'll help keep its shape. So, 10-inch squares. I cut mine on my AccuQuilt because I got a 10-inch square cutter. Fast and easy to do it. If you want to do a bunch of them, you can also buy these prepackaged 10-inch squares. So you could do a lot of fun things. This one actually has some metallic ones in them. You don't want to use those in the microwave, so save those squares for something else. But you can make a bunch of gifts with just one of these packs of 10-inch squares. So we will see you. Behind me, we got some projects from last couple of weeks, project that we're going to do next week. So we got at least 2 more weeks of holiday gift ideas, so join us next Friday.